checking in. So many of you said you are interested in my blind spot story. So I will share with you, even though it's a pretty vulnerable thing, but I love to share this with you because maybe it can create some awareness for yourself. So maybe a little bit of the backstory to why I actually went on a blind spot hunt, or why I actually dove into this subject. So I moved to a new area actually twice in the last 2.5 years. I moved during COVID, so naturally it would be a little bit more difficult meeting people during a period like this. But so I have lived in I don't know, I lost count, but many different cities. I have traveled, and I never, ever in my life have had such difficulty creating connection and actually friendships as I have in the last 2 years that I'm here in this specific region. It is just that I feel that the mentality here is very different from basically all other places I've ever been to. So from time to time, I get this sensation of frustration and loneliness and just craving for like souls to really connect with, like tangible people here, not just online. I have beautiful friends, all over the world, and it's beautiful, but I'm the kind of person, I'm like a touchy-feely person, and I want to hug, I want to like speak to you and send to you and feel you and laugh with you and cry with you and all of that. So that's what I need for my well-being. Yeah, I was missing that. And from time to time, I would be getting this sense of frustration and loneliness. And I'm no stranger to loneliness. That is the thing. And so loneliness is a feeling that I have, that has accompanied me since childhood. It comes in ebbs and flows. So sometimes it's stronger. Sometimes it's almost not there. It's almost never not there. So what I found, and this really blew my mind, was one, that I have become very comfortable, which is a good thing, relating to people when they are in pain or when they feel lonely, because I have been there and I don't want this for anyone. Like, I just don't. I guess that's why I put so much emphasis on relationships in general, because I have experienced the pain of loneliness, like really to the core of my being. And so I guess one of my missions here among 2-3 others is really enabling people to create connection. And like I said, I have beautiful connections. That's the one thing that when I thought my life was falling apart, was not falling apart, were my relationships. But I'm speaking about my right here, right now, my physical reality in this time space. So I said, okay, let's sit down, do this process. And so what I found first was relating. I was very comfortable relating to people in their pain, connecting there. So really connecting to people in their joy. And what I found, I even get goosebumps, is that I need to learn again how this works. Because I went a little deeper, which is something I always do with my own processes. And I asked, what about this? What about that? And I'm like, what if this feeling of loneliness is not there anymore? In general, in my life. So this is not about just like friendships and stuff. But what if this feeling of loneliness, like, why is it still there even? Like, why do I need this feeling? And what I found is that when it's gone, I'm afraid that I won't be able to relate to people anymore. And this was huge. So there is a fear there that if I let go of the loneliness, that this will mean that I will not be able to relate to anyone. Or let's say that I won't be able to relate to people in their pain. And then that would mean I'm a terrible person if I cannot relate to people in their pain, right? That is the belief. So that really blew me away. I'm like, wow. So I need the feeling of loneliness in order to keep my ability to relate to people at all. Which in turn just creates unsatisfying connection, or always like this feeling of not enough connection, because I have to keep the loneliness to have connection. So, oh my god, it's such a mind fuck. So do you understand what I'm saying? So maybe you're not so much into manifestation and all that, but so look, I have been a coach for 7 years, 7 years, and I don't call myself necessarily a manifestation coach, but all I do, like all therapists and coaches ever do, is manifestation, because we want to help people create a better life, whatever that specifically means, right? So I know a few things about that kind of stuff. So I know that if I am in the situation, I somehow have created it, and there's something within me that wants it. So something within me wants to keep wanted to keep a little bit of that loneliness, so as to keep the ability to relate to people, but just enough to have a little bit of connection, and just not enough so that I would keep a little bit of that loneliness feeling. That is so fucked up. So a pattern found is a pattern that you can actually dissolve and change. So I did this whole process, my own. By the way, if you come to my workshops, we will do this process. It's really amazing. I love it. It's like you find things you never thought you would find in your psyche. It's so crazy. So I now can trust to let go of this loneliness, the necessity for loneliness, and trust that I will still be able to relate to people and relate to people in their joy, and that I won't lose my ability to connect, and that I won't lose my ability to hold people in their pain, or to relate to people when they are in pain. Because it's not like that memory of mine is eradicated, it's still there, and my capacity to feel deep is still fucking there. So I won't lose that. That's a total like bullshit fear. It doesn't make sense. So I don't need it. I don't. Thank you, loneliness. So thank you. Like, this is appreciation for that kind of pattern, because this pattern was just keeping me safe. That's the thing with patterns. That pattern was there to protect me from being completely lonely, right? Because if the belief is, if I let go of the loneliness, I won't be able to relate at all anymore, then that means, isn't that so funny? Keeping some of that loneliness will prevent me from being completely, desperately lonely. So thank you for this pattern. Thank you for keeping me safe. Thank you for your wonderful intentions and the love that you have for me. And now we will try something different. And let's see if it works. And I trust you, and I still need you. I still need the capacity to access that feeling of loneliness, so that I can be there for people who feel it when they need me. So I'm not banning you. I'm just putting you in this place where you can actually really help me. Really, really help me. And other than that, I invite you into joy with me, into freedom, into letting go, and play and fun and laughter, and see how this can be amazing. You just got to witness part of my process. And now have fun exploring your own patterns. If you have any questions, by the way, if something about this was not clear, or if you want to share what this did to you, message me or comment.